It says, "For he that is entered into his rest, he also have ceased from his own works, as God did from his. For he is talking about that is entered into his rest. It's talking about God's rest. Amen, son. Good job. Let's go to Psalms. Matter of fact, scratch that. Let's go to Proverbs. We'll go to the first book of Proverbs. Ooh, yeah. Why don't you go read the first? What's that? Read. Don't you read to 5? What does that mean? Say the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction. What is this whole thing about? Yep. What else? That was it. What do you think? What do you think about that? You don't have any thoughts about it at all? You go back and read it. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, equity, to give subtly. I can't say that word good. You know, like when you be in, I think sneaky is a word. It's probably a better word for that. To the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Viewer discretion is advised. It said a wise man what? What do you think about that, son? What do you think about those two verses? Hmm? Yeah, what do you think about it? What kind of person? So when you see kids that don't listen to their parents or don't want to listen to the teacher, they don't want to listen to anything that sounds smart, what kind of person are they? Ignorant or stupid, maybe? So if we don't want to be ignorant and stupid and dumb, what do we need to do? We need to listen to wisdom and instruction, right? Isn't the Bible full of wisdom and instruction? So a wise person would read the Bible, wouldn't they? That a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. So, wise counsel, that's like a group of people, right? You got a bunch of friends saying we should go do some good stuff, and you listen to them, that makes you wise. But if you be like King Solomon's son, remember he was listening to all his friends. His friends were telling him to do bad stuff, right? What happened to that? People try to kill him, and they're dark sayings. Where we at? To go back to 5. Say it, man, when you get there. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. Let's set this up. Been in my neck the whole time. Why don't you go ahead and read from there, son? I'll set this up. What about wait? What about that? They're dark sayings. What do you think about that? What do you think it meant by that? Why do you think he'd say dark sayings? You have no clue why he would say dark sayings? We'll read it again. I think he meant deep sayings, don't you? Why would he listen to people talk about evil stuff? Don't make sense, do it? Pretty sure he meant deep. Sometimes, like if you look at the bottom of the ocean, is it light down there? That's why you gotta learn to read between the lines. Read things in context. That's why it's important to read things from the beginning to end instead of jumping around. You miss the context, what he's trying to really say. Leads people to make up their own lead people to make up their own interpretation. They do things that way. What does it say the fear of the Lord is in verse 7? Fear of the Lord is what? Ooh. So it's very important that we fear God, right? It's evidence of God all around if you look. fools hate what? So people that hate learning hate what? I don't know. That was kind of a confusing question I asked. It said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but the fools despise wisdom and instruction. No, that was a good question. Fools despise what? Wisdom and instruction. They don't want to listen to nobody, especially somebody tell them something good, right? Ain't that most people? I don't want to hear that. How many kids in the classroom be talking when the teacher talking? Most kids don't be paying attention, do they? The Bible says it's foolishness is in the heart of a child. What do most kids be thinking about? Having fun? Is there anything wrong with having fun? It's just a time and place for everything, right? So you have to have self-control and discernment to know the difference when it's time to play and when it's time to learn. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Said, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head. What do you think about that, son? What you read it again? Did you get lost? You on 7? Yeah, no. Where we at? We on 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head. What are we talking about here? There you do. Read it again. Read 8 again. Look, my son, hear thee what? What is that? Of thy father, and forsake not thee of thy mother. So what is he telling us to do right there? Listen to your parents, right? 9. For they shall be in what? What is they, first of all? What is it talking about when it say they? Nope. What did I have you highlight just a minute ago? Yes, I did. Listen. Go back to it. My son, hear thee of thy father, and forsake not the of thy mother. For they, now what is they? What's the two things I had you say? Bingo. The instruction in the law shall be in what? unto thy head. Now, what do you think that means? Yeah. What is grace? God has grace on us. What is he doing? Right. There's another scripture in the Bible where it says that you prolong your days when you obey your parents. That's God giving us grace whenever we listen to our parents. Now, what if your parents tell you to go jump off a bridge? Should you listen? That's why you have to read between the lines. The Bible don't specifically say that. Oh, listen to everything they say. I don't know about that. What if Gideon would have listened to his father when his father was worshiping other idols? You think God would want him to do that? That's why we got to use the good sense God gave us. Where are we at? 9, 10. Uh huh. I missed one, huh? And chains about thy neck, ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. I think in this context, chains mean something good. Maybe think about gold chains. How about that? Verse 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. So if sinners try to tell you to do something you're not supposed to listen to them, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Verse 11, if they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Like they're talking about killing or robbing somebody. You're not supposed to listen to that. 12, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. You understand this is still like the bad guys talking to the yeah, okay. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. It's talking about money. Let us all have one purse. See, my son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. That can be kind of confusing, but if you understand the context of what we've been reading, you can put two and two together, right? And they lay wait for their own blood. See, it talks about they're basically setting a trap for themselves and not realizing it. It says what does it say? They lay wait for their own blood, for their own blood. Like they think they're doing all this bad stuff to people, but really they're doing it to themselves too, and not realize it. What's the two main places you're gonna end up in life if you're out there running them streets and doing all this crazy junk? You end up two places, son. Where is it? Jail or the grave. You end up dead or in jail. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. You're not gonna end up in a good place. You just be wasting your life away. They lurk privately. Wait, am I right place? Yeah, blood. At the end of 18, they lurk privately for their own lives. 19. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain. See, same thing for people that's greedy. Is we may look at being greedy as like, oh, it's no big deal, but the Bible says right here it's the same thing as a person that's robbing and killing. It's a sin. It says greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Think about these big corporations. These big corporations that have all these people working for them, and they barely have time to spend with their family because these people making them have overtime, and they only give them so much to live off of, so they constantly have to work and work and work and work and work, basically taking their lives away, right? Yeah, that's what I think about when it says that. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which take away the life of the owners thereof. All these governments, these big corporations, these banks, they're greedy, and that's the reason why the world is the way it is. People hollering, oh, it's not enough food or money to go around. Yes, it is. It's just people greedy. And it makes everybody suffer. The cry of wisdom. You want to get that one? Verse 20. Simple ones. Stupid people. Stupid people, son. Whoa, wait. Go back and read 22 again. Simplicity. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? What do you think that means? You close. Really close. Let's go back to 20. Look at it. Look. Who are we talking about right there? Right off the bat. Okay, it's looking at it in a poetic way. It's making wisdom seem like a woman. It says, wisdom crieth without. It says she. You see that? She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief places of concourse. It's talking about like kingdoms and governments, like high officials. It's like basically just saying she's everywhere. Wisdom is everywhere. In the openings of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? What was we talking about earlier before this? Like, what do most people want to do? Mm-hmm. Because it's why? It's simple. It's easy, right? It's easy to just do whatever you want to do, right? But the people that flourish is often the people that do the hard things. So right there in 22, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. I think it's like making fun of people. And fools hate what? Are you following along, son? Fools hate knowledge. 23. Turn you at my reproof. That's like chastise or like punishing or like scolding. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. That would almost kind of sound like wisdom is God. But remember, we did read earlier that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? So maybe it's like both of them talking, maybe? Huh? So, I will make known my words unto you. Behold, I have called, and ye refused. Yeah, that was sound more like God, right? I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded it. Why is he stretching out his hand? He's stretching out his hand to help somebody. With knowledge or God help you out? No man regarded. He's not. They're not paying attention. They don't care. They don't want to have nothing to do with it. What did he start off saying? How long? He said, "How long will you what? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?" That's when he was talking about, "I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded it." It's like, how long were you gonna do your own thing? It's like, I'm here trying to help you out, and you don't want to listen. But ye have set at naught all my counsel. 25. Basically, what I just said. When you're not listening to my counsel, and with none of my reproof, I also will laugh at your calamity. Whenever they start reaping the benefits of doing wrong, that's when everybody want to call on God, ain't it? They don't want to have nothing to do with God. I seen it when 9/11 happened. Wasn't nobody worried about God. But when 9/11 hit, then everybody wanted to say, "One nation under God," and "God bless America," and all that. And then slowly start going back into their own ways. Kind of like what we read in Judges. Like we've been reading about the whole time, and them walking in the desert on the way to the promised land. Everybody be like, how could they do that? We do it all the time. We be doing bad and we want God to come save us, and as soon as God save us, we forget about God. As soon as we start getting comfortable, we forget about God. 26. He said, I also will laugh at your calamity. Eventually, he's going to stop. He's going to stop helping people. He says he'll laugh at your calamity. Where do you think that person will go when they die? It's a scary thing to think about. So you laugh at your calamity, you're in trouble and turmoil, and then God forbid you die, you don't get to repent and change and turn from your ways. And then you got to go to hell and suffer some more. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, that's destruction, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, it's like a tornado. When distress and anguish cometh upon you. 28. Then shall they come upon you, call upon me. Said, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Why you think he said that? If I kept slapping you in the face and kept telling you I was sorry, but I kept doing it, how would that make you feel? I said, how would that make you feel if I kept slapping you in the face and telling you I was sorry, but I kept doing it? Eventually you get tired of it, wouldn't you? Be ready to hit me back, wouldn't you? 28. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall see. We seen this too in Judges. You don't remember that? When they kept doing wrong and he kept sending people, and eventually he was like, you know what? Call on them gods you was worshiping. See if they help you. See if they can hear you. You don't remember that? We're in what? Second no, we're in First Chronicles, right? Yup. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see that again. I think we probably read a little bit about it, but he's basically going to do the same thing again. He's going to be like, you know what? Why don't y'all call on them other guys? You know, the ones you was worshiping the whole time I was blessing y'all? Yeah, call on them. See if they help you. That's anybody, though, right? Anybody would get tired of somebody doing them wrong, wouldn't it? It says, "They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me." That means they're getting up early in the morning, they're praying, they're probably fasting, they're doing all this stuff, and he's like, you know what? I ain't feeling like helping y'all no more. Cause God gets tired of people too. For that, for that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. So he's telling you why. It says, for that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. It's talking about the tables turning. But who's hearkeneth but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely. The people that listen to God and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So all the people that listen to God, he said they'll be safe. Everybody can say they love God and call themselves Christians, but it's the doers that'll be saved. Did you catch that? Look at something real quick. Nah, I just said just need to look at something real quick. I was going live and I wanted to make sure I caught all this. Making sure I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. All right, where we at? We're on 28. We're on 28. How about 2? Proverbs 2. Well, next chapter. Yeah, we did. You got to pay attention, son. Why don't you read that? Proverbs 2. Let's read, just read. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, what about that part right there? What do you think about that part? 3 to 4. It say, "Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures." Huh? You think that's what it's trying to say? It's trying to call somebody a gold digger? You gotta read in context. You somewhere along you way that you stop paying attention. Look, go back to 1. It says, "My son." Who's it talking to? It's talking to us. "If thou wilt receive my words, and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding, yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures." Remember what it was doing the last chapter? It was personifying knowledge as like a woman, or wisdom as like a woman. That's kind of what it's doing right here. Again, did you catch that when it said her? The whole time it was talking about wisdom and understanding, and then it said her. Did you catch that? Look at 3, verse 3. It says, Yea, if thou hearest, yea, if thou criest after knowledge. What are we talking about? Okay, but not just knowledge, though. It says, criest after her, after knowledge. Like seeking knowledge, and lifted up thy voice for understanding. If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures. Basically what I just said, seeking knowledge. I know that's a lot of words, but if you just pay attention, it's what it's talking about. It says, if you listen to knowledge, then what? Read 5. What did we read about the fear of the Lord last chapter? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? Wisdom. And then we come over here to chapter 2, verse 5. Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord. Basically saying the same thing we read last chapter. He's reiterating it, letting you know how important it is, right? And find the knowledge of God. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. You see how many times it's talking about wisdom and knowledge and how it pertains to God? Where are we at? 6? For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. I thought I read that already. Read 7. A buckler is basically a belt, right? You gotta have a belt to hold up your pants, right? That's what its symbolism. He is the buckler to them that walk upright. Means he keeps them up, right? Go ahead and read 8. Wait. Hold on. That's important too. When wisdom entereth into thine what? So it's not enough to hear wisdom, but you have to love it. You have to love knowledge and wisdom. Is why is it so easy to do what you want to do? Yeah, but why do you do it? Yeah, but why else do you like doing it? It's because it's what you like doing, right? That's what's in your heart. Whatever you like doing is in your heart. So that's why it says right there where it says, where's we just at? And knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. What does that mean? I probably skipped down a little bit. I'm in 10, but it also. Oh, 10. We at 10. When wisdom entereth into thine heart. If something is in your heart, that means what? Hey, you like doing it, right? You don't just want to do it; you like doing it. You have to train your mind into liking things that are beneficial to you, right? It's not you just wake up one day and you, oh, I want to do everything I'm supposed to do. It generally don't work like that. You know what I learned in college? I learned a word that's called neuroplasticity. Can you say that? You said that too easy. Made me feel stupid. Anyway, yeah, neuroplasticity is retraining the brain. That's all it is. It's a big word for retraining the brain, right? That's what has to happen because as a child, we already discussed that most kids just want to do fun stuff, right? What we think is fun, usually easy stuff. What you said, right? But at some point, we have to make up our minds that we want to do right. We want to learn and become better people. We want to evolve, right? You don't want to be the same forever. And that's what 10 is saying. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Verse 11, discretion shall preserve thee. You know what discretion is, right? What do you think what it's meaning when it says viewer discretion is advised? I know you done heard it before. Okay, so I dubbed it twice, and I dubbed it twice because I was wanting like the main track to be in the middle, and then the two dubs, one pan to the left and one pan to the right. Cause that was a reference. Like I just wanted to reference where the yeah I was just wanting to I was showing you where I wanted the vocals to like sit within the music. That's the reason why I sent that. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, they, mm. So I probably need to redo them then, huh? That makes sense. Well, it just seems more fuller and more thicker when I do it that way. And I've seen Pimp C and I've seen like a few other people do that. Like they'll stack their verses and then they'll leave one in the middle and then they'll like pan the rest to like either side to the left and the right side and it just sounds more thicker and fuller. just like showing like how I just like the way his voice just sits in the
No, I
mix.
understand, but
Yeah,
you like his voice. It's very clear. You understand the words.
yeah,
When you're stacking a bunch of tracks and they're all out of sync, it just makes it sound jumbly, and I start focusing on the jumbly stuff instead of what you're actually saying. You know what I mean?
yeah. That makes sense.
Um, and then on the hook, I mean, I went and tuned it. Those low ones aren't even close. I'm not real sure why you did one, two, three, four, five, six of the main parts. Um, I mean, you've got them labeled mids, but I found one word that the note was different than the notes on the main two.
Yeah, I was basically trying to harmonize, but I'm not very good at that. As you can see.
Well, I you know uh, I actually think that one note that's different kind of would probably sound better if it wasn't different, but there's like what, there's 8 tracks on the hook, and when I'm tuning the vocals, that's like 8 times more work than if I only had to do one vocal.
You think it would have been better if I would have just had like if I just would have doubled it and just used like auto tune or something? If I just would have dubbed it one time instead of that many.
I don't know. That's It's a whole different sound,
Yeah,
and the auto tune's going to go to the wrong notes a lot of the times, and all of the low ones you did, they would probably all be wrong notes.
that's why I decided to take it off because it sounds good for the most part, but it's always like one or two times where it's just totally off. I was just
Well,
like,
I thought you were talking about the verses on the auto tune, which is what I couldn't really figure out because
oh yeah, no,
it doesn't even sound like you're singing. It sounds just like you're rapping.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
no,
wouldn't even know. I mean, you'd have to invent some kind of melody because I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to tune them to. You know what I mean?
yeah. I wouldn't put an auto tune on the verses. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I was just like panning them.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Does it sound like bad? Just does it sound bad the way it is right now?
what?
Like my
The verses?
yeah, or all of it really? Because I know that chorus is
I think
rough.
the hook sounds. I think the hook sounds fine. After I tuned it, I think it sounds fine. The verses. I mean, I don't. I hardly ever would pan. I hardly ever would do a verse like what you're talking about. Panning two double. I mean, these days most people don't double and triple their raps.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, I couldn't even remember the last time I mixed a song and panned rap, unless it was like maybe one part or something. Uh, like did that. Um, because if they're not like perfect, perfect, like super perfect, you're gonna notice when something's different.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and send you the payment too. Uh,
Not, they'll send you the payment if you're wanting to change a bunch of stuff.
I mean, the main thing I was really worried about was just the chorus. But if you say that sounds
Oh,
good, then
I think the chorus sounds fine, and I think the verse sounds pretty good. But keep in mind, I have those two, three, and four tracks turned down pretty low.
but you kept them though.
They're not, huh?
But you kept them on there though.
They're just low. They're in there. They're just low because I don't want it to sound jumbled.
Okay.
You know, I want to hear what you. I want to hear your lyrics. I don't want to hear all this. It's kind of like this. Like, let's say you had a really ugly girl, and she shows you a picture of this model, and goes into the wherever girls get their makeup done and says, "Make me look up like this," and they like just cake on the makeup, but she's still ugly.
Cat, we call it catfishing. uh,
um, so anyway, my point is like I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear all this. That's just my opinion, though. You know, I'm happy to help you however you want. Um, I mean, it's been a while since I've listened. You mentioned Pimp C, but I haven't listened to that stuff in years, and I don't remember him doing that on his vocals.
I
But
want.
again, you know, you're not Pimp C, and just because Pimp C does it doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like the main reason why I wanted to do it, like I was saying, was like to make it sound more full. But I mean, you pretty much did that on the last track we did together. So I guess the real no, it's not a real reason to do it.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't. I kind of don't. I kind of don't remember the last track. I actually looked just. I looked at it, but I didn't listen to it. Let's see if I got it. You want me to send this? Um, send this to the same address?
Yeah, you can.
Is it M. Mr. Powell
Yeah,
1214? That
yeah, that's it. Hey, was you going to the Nam show?
no, I've never been.
Really?
Why were you? No.
Yeah, I got accepted. I'm gonna go on the 19th. I'm gonna fly out there.
Oh, cool.
No.
Where's it at? Vegas?
Anaheim.
Anaheim. Right on.
Yeah, I'm surprised you ain't never been out there before.
No, I I I usually don't go to many shows.
Uh,
But one thing I know. Oh, one thing I did notice though on that other song, I used. You must have had a lot of bad room sound on it.
I recorded it. I recorded it upstairs. Like I've been trying to record like the way that you said. I didn't use that vocal booth though.
Okay, okay, well, okay. So what I was gonna say is your vocals must be a whole lot better now because I didn't even think it needed any of that. The stuff I used to try to get rid of that sound.
Well, now that you said something about it, I don't know because I done that a while back though. But I'm thinking like I did it after that song meet that you did for me. So I don't think I did it in that room that you said was bad. I think I just did it in another room. What I did, I probably did use the booth.
Pretty good. And like I wouldn't ever think about using that plug-in that takes the room set, or well, it tries to take the room sound off. It helps a little bit, but it's not perfect.
I'm eager to send you something I did because here recently I've been recording everything in a totally different room. I got a different microphone. I got one of the microphones that emulates other microphones, the ML1A from Slate Digital.
Okay.
And so I've been using that in a totally different room, but I still have like that pop filter thing on there because it's the only pop filter I have.
Well, you don't. Are you? Doesn't that need a? You have to have the plug-in on there to emulate the room, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't emulate a room. It emulates the different microphones.
The mic. That's I said it wrong. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference, but I don't really have the real mics to like reference off of, you know.
Well, what I was gonna say is if you don't render that plug-in, then I don't get it with that plug-in.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
So you did render it with it?
Not this, not this. Well, yeah, no, not this song, but songs I've been working on lately. Cause I just got it like what a month ago.
Okay.
But
But I know that mic because Zero has one of those, and I don't think I think I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm almost positive that we don't use, as far as the mixing goes, we don't use the plug-in.
oh, so you just use it straight up?
Yeah,
Mm.
because well, I kind of don't. I kind of haven't asked him in a while. I know he had that mic. He got that mic a couple years ago, and I remember at first. I think we kind of messed around with using the plug-in, but then, but, but that was we haven't. I haven't done that in years.
Yeah,
But
cause so he must have had the old one. This I got the newer one. It just came out I think a year ago.
oh, I don't know. I didn't even know there was a new one. But
Yeah, cause the last one I had cause it was all black. It's an all black slate digital one. It's an ML
I think
one.
it is.
But that one,
Yeah, these all, and I think his came with a mic preamp too.
yeah, yeah, you had to have it cause to get the full effect, you had to have. I got that too. But for some reason, I couldn't get it to work. That's why I bought the newer version. And like I said, I don't have a really the most expensive microphone I got is a TLM 102, but they're like super expensive microphone to like compare the two together. But from what I've seen online, everybody said it's pretty close.
Um, I mean, I would guess you could probably tell the difference if you compared the two, but it's it's not like a microphone's kind of like you don't need the most expensive microphone to get a good sound.
Right. I just got it because I wanted to try different because I know different mics got different sounds. So that was the main reason why I wanted to get it. 'Cause I couldn't afford just to go out and get a bunch of different mics and try them all at once. So this is like an ultimatum.
Yeah, right on. Well, it probably has a lot more to do with the sound of the room than which mic you're using.
Yeah. Like I said here lately, I just been using the pop filter. Like I ain't even really been using that makeshift booth I showed you. I just been in the middle of the room and I have that pop filter on top of it. But like the song I sent you, that I done that. I might have done it in here in that one room I showed you. with the bed foam all over the deal. People cooked me so
Oh,
much in the comments when I put that up for the first time. I was like,
is that the one that you said was your mom's safe room or something?
yeah, yeah.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
No, no, that was it. That was it. I might the song that
Yeah.
you just did right now, and then the first one I sent you is probably was done in here in this room I'm in now, the safe room deal. But here lately, I've been doing a lot of songs just upstairs in another room with that pop filter on there, with no blankets or anything.
Well, I think it sounded pretty good. I certainly didn't have a problem with any of the raps. I thought you could hear the room a bit in the low vocals that you did on the chorus, but that was it. So I just matched the notes of the high one but an octave lower, and if I turn those up, you're going to hear that it
I definitely was struggling with some songs. Like I can just do it and just without thinking, but that one I was struggling with. That's why I was like, when you said the chorus was all right, that was like the main thing I was worried about. So if that's all right, then I'm cool. But
All right, well, check it out and let me know.
okay,
All right.
all right, appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, yes sir. You want me to cook you something? Let me cook your own food. How old are you?